In this video, I'm going to cover the return of the Undertaker. Everybody knows he has a limited engagement and that the Shield took him out. I'll do another video about the Shield later on. But I think when Undertaker comes back, I think it's going to be at the SummerSlam. But I think he needs to come back as the American Badass. I think the Dead Man gimmick has run its course. As much as I've loved the Dead Man gimmick, he's fantastic. I've watched him all these years. But with the passing of Paul Bearer, there doesn't need to be the Dead Man anymore. I think that character needs to be gone, and Mark needs to go back to the American Badass because that's truly who he is as far as a person and as a wrestler. I think the American Badass coming back would absolutely freak people out, and people would be like, "Oh my God, it's the Badass Undertaker coming back." And I think if he comes back as the American Badass, that he could truly decimate the Shield. But I think the Shield story is going kind of somewhere else. And I think they're actually doing the Shield storyline wrong. But this is more along the point of Undertaker. I love watching Undertaker wrestle. He's up in years. He's had a lot of surgeries. He's got a lot of, you know, problems with his knees and hips and all that good stuff. But if they could do it, they need to bring him back as the badass bike riding Undertaker because that's who he is. Paul Bearer is gone. It's a sad thing. Loved Paul Bearer. And honestly, when they broke Paul Bearer and Undertaker up, the character was never the same after the initial breakup of them two. So take him back to being the badass, the American badass Undertaker. It's like Kane. I think Kane's fine right now. I think Kane and Daniel Bryan, great storyline. They get along really well. They play off each other really well. But I know before too long the WWE is going to screw that one up and change the story to where nobody's going to like it. But Undertaker back on a motorcycle. It's like come out SummerSlam, have the Shield, have the Shield story last up to that long. Which I know Vince and them right way ahead of themselves. So what you do is SummerSlam, have it to where it's Daniel Bryan and Kane out there. They're getting beat on by the Shield or whatever. Like I said, you can keep the Shield story running. Don't stop it yet. But they're out there wrestling. The Shield's beating them down, beating them down, beating them down, and all of a sudden, over the loudspeakers, you hear "Dead Man Walking," and the crowd erupts. Undertaker comes out on his motorcycle, drives down to the ring, gets out, cleans the Shield's clocks. That's all I need to say. If that would not drag people to pay for your pay-per-views, not and to watch the return of the American Badass, which is a really great persona of Mark's. I don't know if you can do it. If you can't gain buy rate with that, you're not going to get buy rates. Your stories are crap if you can't do anything with that. I'm telling you, if somebody out there listens and you know the company, pass it on. He needs to come back as the American Badass. The Dead Man gimmick is dead. Haha, I know it's funny. But the Dead Man gimmick is no more. Paul Bearer died. That's the end of the Dead Man gimmick. American Badass needs to come back because that would be absolutely the pinnacle of this new PG writing style to have somebody, have him come back as that character because he was a monster. Have him come back, write the story. He doesn't have to come back and do it all the time, but have him come back, save Kane and Daniel Bryan, which really, honestly, you could write it to where those two don't need saving. You all just do because you want the Shield to look like monsters. Have Taker come back on the motorcycle. The end.